In this lesson, we're going to be learning Wonderful Tonight by Eric Clapton. We're going to learn two different rhythm guitar parts and also the lead part. This is a great tune, too, because the lead part's pretty easy, and if you're just learning bends, this is a great tune to practice with. So let's start with the basic chord progression. It goes G to a D with an F sharp on the bottom, which I'm playing with my thumb over the top of the neck. Then we go to C, and then D. So it's just a bar of each. Now, if you can't play the F sharp on the low E string with your thumb, you can just play a D, really. Definitely get away with that. Okay, now that's through the verses in the intro. Now there's a pick pattern, and it kind of changes throughout. He's basically just arpeggiating the chords, but the main pattern is something like that. So I'm picking G, D string, G string, back to D string, B, G, D, G. Then we go to our D with our F sharp, same thing, exactly. Then when you get to the C, you're going to change it just a little bit. You're going to move everything down a string. And then to the D chord. So in context, repeats that throughout the verse. And you're basically doing that pick pattern throughout the entire tune. Now there's another guitar part, and it's going to play the same chords but different fingerings up in a higher register. So I'm basically going to play the G like a G bar chord with the root on the E string, but I'm just playing the higher string, so I don't need to bar it. I just need to bar the high E and B string, second finger on the 4th fret of the G, and third finger on the 5th fret of the D string. Okay, now this pick pattern is a little bit different. It goes like that. And then we go to this for the D. So it's still a D with an F sharp in the bass. So I'm barring the 2nd fret, G, B, and E string. Second finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. That makes our D chord, just a different way of playing it. And then we're going to put our 3rd finger on the 4th fret of the D string. And we're going to go. So far. Then we're going to go to a C. We don't need to play the whole thing. We don't need our 3rd finger because we're not going to pick that. Same pick pattern. And then to our D, a regular D. So that is the other guitar parts. There's two arpeggiating rhythm guitar parts. So that plays along with the first one we did. Okay, that's what's going to be played in the verses. Now, and the intro. The intro, one of the guitars does something a little different. You'll hear this in the recording. I think it's the higher one here. It goes like that. Now, instead of going to the D, this guitar part does a little riff that it'll sound familiar to you. It goes, and it goes back to the G. So the little riff ends on the 1 of the next time around the chord progression. So it goes in context like this. Does that. Okay, so you can decide if you're playing by yourself how you want to break this up, and you don't even have to play that particular arpeggiated pattern because it kind of really changes throughout the song. He doesn't play it the exact same way every time, but those are two of the ones that are pretty prominent. Now, on top of those two, we have the lead part, and we're still in the intro here. Although that covers most of the verse as well. So the lead part is going to be played. The song is in G, okay? So we have our G pentatonic major scale. Okay, but we're going to play the relative pentatonic minor fingering. So if you remember from some of the theory stuff we've done, E pentatonic minor has the same notes as G pentatonic major. So even though I'm playing, it looks like I'm playing E pentatonic minor, it's G pentatonic minor. Okay, so it starts out. And then he lets that ring the first time through the intro. So that's 14. It's a bend and release, a full bend and release. 12, back to 14. Then we do the same thing, but we land on the 14th fret of the D string. Then we do the same thing as the first time. Okay? So that's the first time through the verse. Okay, now the second time through the intro, I'm sorry I said verse before, intro is what I meant. The second time, it's the same thing. But the third time through the riff, he does that little run, and that leads us right into the verse. So that's same as the first time. The last time, then we go 14, 12 on the B string, 13 on the B string, slide up to the 17th fret of the B string, and end on the 15th fret of the B string. Okay, and that's the main theme, lead part throughout the rest of the tune. Okay, so that's the intro. So the verse is the same pretty much as the intro as far as the chord progression goes. We have our G to our D, C, D. Do it again. D. Now we go to like a pre-chorus thing, and it goes C. Same pick pattern, basically. D. Now we're going to do a little walk down to an E minor. Okay, so that's G, D with the F sharp on the bottom to E minor. Then we go C, D, and then we're back into our little intro. Okay, so that's pretty much the chorus. Now, you got the other guitar part, the rhythm guitar part for the chorus. So it's the same thing, you know, it's C, D, then we do our walk down, G. Now here you're gonna go to E minor. Now you only need your second finger on the second fret of the D string because we're not playing these lower strings. So that little part is. Then we go to C, D, and then we're back to the intro part, okay? So that takes us through the intro, verse, chorus. After the first chorus, you go into another, it might be an intro break with the little lead part. And that's all the same. Goes through a verse, chorus. At the end of the second chorus, there's a little transition between the bridge and the chorus that he just stays on the G. So you come out of the, say we're in the second chorus. Let's see, at the climb down. C. Then he just hangs on the G for 2 bars. If you're playing this part, it's just. And then we have a little bridge, and that's C, D, G, little walk down, same thing, E minor, C, D, C again, D, you let that ring out there, okay, for 1 bar. So the bridge is C, D, G, D over F sharp, E minor, C, D, C, D, let it ring out. And then we're back to the intro. Okay? So, and again, we've provided the tab for you, so if you want to look at it closer, you can. That's pretty much it. Those are all the parts. And it's just, you need to listen to the song for the exact arrangement or look at the tab. But that's pretty much it for Wonderful Tonight.